Shalom, and welcome back to Repairs of the Breach with Ohada. It is a pleasure to have you here listen to me. It is a pleasure to be able to speak once again. How was your feast? How was the holy season? I pray you had a blessed feast. I truly did. I got to not just feast upon delicious food, but also I got to feast upon love, joy, unity, strength from gathering with family, extended family, my community coming together. So many of us coming together to enjoy the holy season. It has truly been a blessing, and Yehovah has truly blessed our provisions. And I want to give him all praise, honor, glory is due unto him and him alone. Kol kavod eleka Yehovah Eloheinu, Baruch atah melech haolam. All praise is due unto Yehovah. As we are nearing a new month, the month of Bul, and exiting out of this blessed Eitaneem, there's so many things that we can take forward within our lives. And I've written here a short dissertation to you. Today I didn't want to come just too forward in my mouth. I really wanted to have something to speak to you that was from my heart. And I'm a writer, so they say give Yehovah your best. It is commended that we give him our best. And most often when I can write things, it just flows and my fingers begin to either type or use the pen. And I want to share a short message with you. I want to share some things that have been on my mind that I've learned from this holy season, and some things that I speak to myself with first. These are things personally that I know could help someone. This is a message to Yisrael, our nation. Live in Eitaneem in righteousness. We don't just accidentally trip over a bucket of water and fall into sin. It is a perpetual and habitual pattern of thoughts that creates a plethora of emotions leading to actions that can result in sin. So, God teaches us that by fixing and addressing our thoughts first, we can lead our flesh into actions of righteousness. God knows humanity is weak to sin, but he also knows that his spirit dwells within each person, granting the capability to move towards righteousness and conviction to it. This is why he gives us all the keys in Torah to conduct ourselves according to his ways. YAH'S will is to have a people that reflect him in the world he created, because he, Yah, is not a physical being and cannot be compared to anything we can imagine. It is his will to show himself through his people so that he can dwell amongst us, as it is written in the future prophecies of the days to come. For example, in our history, when the people of Israel were constantly committing sin, complaining, displaying a lack of trust, and continually provoking Yah to anger, Yah told Moshe and Aharon to separate themselves to protect or to be protected during his judgment that he was about to carry out on the children of Israel. In this context, we had nearly pushed Yah's limit with our thoughts and our actions. However, because Moshe and Aharon interceded and pleaded with Yah, he decided not to proceed with total judgment, allowing us to continue on. All praises. I bring up this example to help you understand that Yah can and will remove sin and evil from the earth. However, it is through many prayers, both today and in recent histories from our grandparents, great-grandparents, old on slave ships, and so many people today who are uttering sincere prayers, that Yah grants us more time to amend our ways, behaviors, and thoughts. But remember, we must remember, this additional time has consequences, and we do experience them. It does not affect Yah, only us, this extra time that we continuously ask Yah for, and he grants it to us. But if we sincerely ask Yah for more time, whether for family members to get right, for personal commitments, we must ensure we are using this time wisely, or it will work against us. During this time, as Yah commanded Moshe and Aharon to separate themselves, we must also take example to separate ourselves from sin and sinners, so that when Yah confronts humanity, as he will in the future, in the coming days, we are not consumed by his anger and wrath. The Torah delves deeper into this idea, commanding Israel as a whole not to follow after the ways of sinners or the worldly trends. When it says, the Creator commanded us, after the doings of Egypt, Wherein you dwell you shall not do, and after the doings of the land of Canaan, whither I bring you, you shall not do, neither shall you walk in their statutes. When Yah gives you a chance and removes you from a mindset or an environment that was detrimental to your spiritual well-being, it's contingent upon us to make ourselves anew. We must not reform our past behaviors, but completely let go of what Yah is leading us away from. In today's society, the whole world follows similar trends, many of which you and I can name together. Israel, we cannot find ourselves doing the same. How will Yah look upon us and see any difference if we blend in with everyone? We must make a clear distinction to Yah that we choose Him over sin and anything contrary to Him. If we do not make a separation and distinction, we might find ourselves swept away with the wicked. We also have to be sure not to try and reform our society from worldly ways. When Yah gives us an opportunity to shape our world, it must stem from a spiritual sense and recognition of Yah's will on this earth. For instance, we cannot adopt ideas or arguments common in contemporary governments that we see. We must all agree to Yah and His ways, or we risk building on foundations ready to collapse beneath us. This has been Yisrael's struggle. Too often do we like to copy what everybody else is doing and not realize that we are the trendsetters. We are the ones that everybody follow after. We must learn to be more authentic in who we are. As it is written in the Torah, when Yah commanded Moshe to speak unto all of Yisrael and say unto them, Ye shall be holy, for I, Yehovah, your power, am holy. What does this mean? Yah ushers us to use the internal intelligence He's given us to create a world that reflects and manifests His will on this planet. Trying to implement democracy won't work. Trying to implement communism won't work. We can try all the government reforms, but they won't and they will not work for us. These systems undoubtedly have their advantages, but Israel must create its own society using what Yah has given us, the Torah. It is Yah's delight to dwell in the midst of humanity. Yet until we apply His wisdom, we risk pushing Him further and further away. When the day comes that Israel dwells amongst itself, it will require a total obedience to Yah's Torah. Whether these are small restoration villages, whithersoever we may be upon this earth, Yah is trying to show us that there is a hidden gift. It is strength when we separate ourselves from the world and devote ourselves fully to Yah. This isn't meant to exclude anyone listening. This is not to say that you are to be outside of our gates because you don't consider yourself as Israel. Yah said his prayer, His house would be a prayer for all people. So if you are a good person, this speaks to you as well. I'm just speaking to Yisrael, my people, first. I'm here to remind Yisrael that we must go within to find a heavenly abode. As the world around us continues to break apart, it is upon us to build something anew. But when we come together, we must be willing to allow each other to express ideas. And others must be open to recognizing when those ideas are valuable, or even be honest enough to say that they are invaluable. And those receiving that critique must be humble enough to accept it. We also need to honor people's resourcefulness. What do I mean by this? If someone is a singer, for example, and this is the first thing that comes to mind, and they love to sing, and they always are getting up to sing in front of the people, then they should be acknowledged and called on for their talent when the time comes. Overlooking such gifts can create tension within our nation. Take Oholiab and Bezalel, for instance. They were eager to use the skills Yah had blessed them with. Imagine if man was responsible for choosing in that day and time. They may have overlooked those two. That's why Yah called them by name and chose them. Praise Yah. Those in leadership positions must follow Yah's example by selecting those He has chosen for various tasks in our nation. And that will be contingent upon the leaders. And I speak not in a way to disrespect my leaders, just speaking as the whole. This also means that we the people must acknowledge our leaders, respect them, and not envy their positions. We have to accept the roles set out in Torah and honor them and the men and women. We know most of these positions in our culture are usually held by men, the major ones that I speak about. Yah has chosen in our time. So those people fit for those positions, and we can see that Yah has already chosen them. We must be humble enough to accept that they are in those positions. Not everyone can lead in the same capacity, but we can lead ourselves to pursue righteousness if you so desire to be a leader. This will require us to overcome the personal and emotional challenges that plague us from the inside. When we feel the urge to argue unnecessarily, we must train ourselves not to. We need to confront ourselves daily, watching our souls and ensuring our thoughts are righteous. Without this self-discipline, we will struggle to truly love each other and work together to improve our nation. Israel has experienced slavery time and time again, which unfortunately has and can lead a people to dependency, insecurity, and an inferiority complex. Overcoming these deeply ingrained feelings will be a task, but if we lean on Yehovah, our power, our strength, our rock, He will guide us through it. We will need counselors within our nation to support those who may struggle with these challenges. It may be hard for some to accept not being chosen for certain leadership roles. But if we humble ourselves and trust that Yah has given each soul, both you and me, a unique combination of skills, gifts, and wisdom, we can find joy in that truth alone. We all are parts of a larger puzzle that make up this great, beautiful picture. As we exit our holy month of Eitaneem, we carry its lessons with us. Yom Teruah starts us off stirring up surprise and awareness that the holy month has arrived and it's time to get ourselves in order. We then experience 9 days of penitence, including reflection and introspection, almost a spiritual isolation. On Yom Kippur, we feel sadness, shame, guilt, and even a disturbance at some of our past actions, and that's a personal feeling, if so be it. But then we move toward gratitude, appreciation, love, joy, and happiness as we celebrate Chag Sukkot. On the 8th day, we then are now coming down to this resolution from this hill. And it's this resolution that we feel peace, contentment, or even deeper introspection on that day of Shmini Atzeret. Through every emotion in Eitaneem, our task was to keep Yah at our center core. That's the lesson we must take from Eitaneem as we enter the 8th month of Bul and Omer within our very personal lives. No matter how we feel, we must remember Yah, keeping Him at our center so that our emotions don't overrule us. If we couldn't convert our sadness from Yom Kippur, how could we have enjoyed and given thanks to Yah during such a blessed feast of Chag Sukkot? Yah teaches us a very key lesson in managing our emotions, reminding us that every feeling begins with a thought. If we didn't think deeply enough on Yom Kippur, we might not have manifested the necessary emotions to act accordingly on that day. So focus on thoughts, watch your emotions, and see how your actions change. But remember, if you keep your thoughts on Yah, you'll have positive emotion, leading to righteous actions, and ultimately peace. That is why it says, a mind that stays on Yah stays in perfect peace. There's a lot to go with that simple text, but when understood, you will see the benefits. It is time for us to learn to truly love each other again. No matter where we are in the world as a nation of Yisrael, when we are called to come together, we need to have worked on ourselves so that we're not the source of internal strife in our nation. Because Yah will weed those out who disrupt unity. As one family, we become a great nation. And that is what Yah requires of us in our generation. To manifest His will on this earth so that we can bring our Yah, Yehovah, closer to us. All praises due unto Elohim. I want to send a very short, heartfelt prayer to those who are mourning at this time for the loss of a loved one. Personally, I know people who I went to school with. I didn't know them on a very personal level, but they lost their lives. And my heart goes out to all those families who were part of those very souls. And anyone who's dealing with the loss of a loved one, may Yehovah grant you that strength that you need to continue on to live in memory of your loved one. I pray for those who are stricken with sicknesses, those who may be ridden to the hospital beds dealing with pain, diseases, and illnesses. And we know the doctors do their best, but may Elohim go where they cannot go, because Yehovah Hu Rofei Harofim. He is the healer of all healers. I pray Yahweh bless those who are in need of shelter, who need more clothes, who need shoes, who need a bed to rest upon, who need water to bathe in. I pray for you. And may Elohim bless our hands to be able to bless those who are struggling. Even if you're struggling mentally, I pray that Yahweh picks you up. Given all praise, honor, and glory that is due unto Yahweh and overdue unto him, I send my love to all the peoples of the earth who are striving to be good people. We see so much going on in today's world. It's time for those who have that common ground, which is to love, to have unity and peace and harmony on this planet once again, to come together and stand up for our Creator, because when we bring him closer, all things will be possible in the name of Yah, and in truth and in righteousness. Blessed be Yah from this time forth and forever. Shalom.